Alright, here we are at the air compressor project. I've got the mounting plate that I'm going to mount the compressor and the engine to. Drilled a couple of holes in the plate to so I can open up and make some adjustment slots so I can adjust the motor to tighten the belt. Yeah, and I'm going to fire a plasma cutter and cut these slots right now because I don't have a mill yet. So I drilled 2 3/8 holes. I drilled them in 4 different positions to correspond with the 4 holes in the bottom of the engine for the mounting flange. And I'm just going to take my plasma cutter and essentially connect the dots and make a slot between those 2 holes in those 4 different areas. Make sense? I hope so. So, where's my plasma cutter? Oh, there it is. I'll set this thing up and I'll be right back. Got the plasma cutter. Straight edge. Line straight edge with the edge of the hole. Next, it's a little cheap square. I use it. It's dedicated to being a straight edge for cutting. Okay, slots are cut. Now, I made this piece of C-channel by taking a 2-inch wide, a 2.5 inch by looks like 1 1/4. God knows how old this piece of steel is. It was on the farm wall when I bought it. But I took it and I split it down the middle and I added this 2-inch piece of flat stock to get the width that I wanted. I just didn't want to go all the way to Vegas to buy a piece of C-channel. And I welded it from the back, and I'll just dress this weld up a little bit so it's flat. And then I'll build a plate with 4 holes in it that match the mounting flange on the engine, and I'll probably just either, if it's thick enough plate, I have to see what I got laying around here. If it's thick enough, I'll just tap that and run a bolt through that so that plate slides with the engine, and the plate is actually cinching on the C channel instead of just having individual bolts that I have to, get underneath there and hold with a wrench. This way I don't have to hold it with a wrench. I can just loosen it, adjust the belt, tighten it down, and it's a done deal. So I'll have to rummage through my scrap and see what I got. Otherwise I got a piece right here. Dang. In plain sight. Look at that. Roughly, let's say, just to be on the safe side, 7.5 by 4. There's my piece of steel. Looks like it's about 3/16. That should be thick enough to drill and tap, and I'll use that as the cinch plate. When we come back, I'll have this drilled. And now I'm fixing to tap these holes that I made in corners now. This up a little bit. I know it's not cutting well. Sue me. The trick to doing these taps, tapping a hole, especially with the small hole, these taps are very brittle. They'll snap if you try to horse them. The trick is to cut a thread until you experience a little bit of resistance. Back it off until you feel that resistance free up, and then cut a little bit more. Back it off until you feel that metal pop off. You'll feel it. And then once it's threaded, it's really easy to go. So if you try to do too much, especially I drill the 5/16 hole, and that's probably a little bit too tight. And so the tap's got, but I'm not drilling through like an inch of steel, so I went with it. But you can snap very easily. You can snap a a tap by trying to take off more than it's capable of doing. And if you watch carefully too, you can see the taps start to twist, and that means that you're getting close to breaking it. And it's really easy to do when you get into the smaller taps like 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch and you know, 10/24s and 10/18, whatever. The small ones will snap really easy, so you need to be careful. And usually on these taps they'll have this one is just a cheap one I bought at I think O'Reilly's. But they usually have the drill bit size that's recommended for the tap. So now I'm just rambling just because I like the sound of my own voice, I guess. That's that's, you know, pretty standard stuff. I mean, it's not rocket science, it's tapping holes. And when we come back, they'll be tapped, and we'll put the motor on the plate and see how it works. I mismeasured. That's okay. What I'll do is I'll use 2 of these holes, these ones, the ones that are furthest away from the edge, and I'll have to hug these out. I'm about half a hole off, and I'll have to make the slots on one side there a little bit bigger. That's okay, we can work around that.